You are listening to Trophy Horse with your hosts, Tricky Nick, Alex, I Yield to No One, Sid, and Ender Phoenix.
There are not possibly enough welcomes to welcome everybody to the 650th episode of the Trophy Wars. That's what we're here celebrating tonight. I am your host tonight, Matt, and with me we got the showrunner, Tricky. What's up, Tricky?
What's up?
And also, every week he gets told he's the man, the myth, the legend. I agree that he's all three of those things. Alex, what's up?
I'd like you all to know that in podcast years, we're old as fuck. Also old as fuck in real life, too.
Well, I mean, I can't speak for who is actually oldest, but that being said, since we're not going to him next, Yield, what's up, buddy?
Well, I've had a couple of weeks off. I've played some video games. I'm eating some pizza. Got my Christmas tree up. I've had some turkey. So, all in all, it's not been bad.
That's right, folks. We are coming back after the Thanksgiving break, so we are now stuffed full of goodness. I know Yield said he's full of turkey. I'm full of turkey. Alex, you full of turkey?
Well, I'm full of a lot of stuff, including turkey. But, I don't know, just hearing about Thanksgiving and thinking about that food, like the stuffing and the corn pudding and all that, makes me want to take a fucking nap right now.
Well, you can keep your corn pudding, but I'll take the stuffing.
What about the mashed potatoes?
Yeah.
Are you going to turn down mashed potatoes?
No. Mashed potatoes. I'll do sweet potatoes, turkey, dressing. Corn pudding, no.
And the secret star, cranberry relish. Really good. I like some cranberry relish. Oh, and ham. Ham and turkey. We had ham and turkey.
Ooh, you double-fisted.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can't disappoint Tricky because we all know how Tricky feels about ham and turkey. He wants some ham on that Thanksgiving table, so I made sure to pay homage to Tricky by having some Thanksgiving ham.
So we did turkey, we did not do ham, and I'm thinking we did turkey, we did like a potato leek souffle that V's aunt made. There was kind of a creamed corn. We had biscuits, and there were some carrots. There was yams, but I don't eat yams because yams are disgusting. And then dessert, we had like an apple, like an Irish soda apple bread, something like that.
That sounds interesting.
God damn, this sounds like a show on the Food Network. This is how Food Network spends their Thanksgivings.
Yeah, but it was a very. So we did Thanksgiving with V's family. And there's a lot less people. If we were at my family, the amount of food would be insane. But again, it's multiplied by 5, the number of people that are actually there. So it's quite the event, the Grunelli household. We didn't do that this year. We have to trade years between my family and V's family. Make sure we're spreading the love.
I'm assuming it's just impossible to do both in like the same week. Or everybody just wants to do it on Thanksgiving, and no one wants to do it like, say, the day before or the day after or the weekend before or the weekend after.
Yeah, but that's also because her mom lives an hour and a half away from us, so we can't exactly go one place and
it's hard to make
other.
2 in a day.
And then to Alex's point, when you're trying to, if you try to do it where there's one not on Thanksgiving and one on Thanksgiving, then that's up to the families on who does that and what day. The weekends maybe not be the best anyway. So this is the best way we do it, and we've made it work.
And if you do 2 Thanksgivings in one day, can you really make the most out of the second meal since you're probably damn near torturing yourself by stuffing more food in there?
Well, what you do is you just don't quite fill up on the first one.
Yeah, but then you're not taking advantage of the first one, so you're shortchanging yourself on either one.
So
You
the way So the way my sister had worked it would be she would eat dinner at her one in-laws and then come to the family dinner for dessert, and then vice versa. That's the way.
My grandfather did that when they stopped having it. He would go to the kids' and he would, eat a little bit everywhere, and the last one was dessert.
Tricky, you do anything special for Thanksgiving this year? I know you're in the middle of a ton of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I went to. I had Thanksgiving with my mom's best friend because normally we have Thanksgiving at my mom's house, but obviously that was not a option this year. So her best friend was nice enough to ask me to come over for Thanksgiving there. I went there, watched the Giants lose, and that's it.
Okay. Well, we talked about Thanksgiving because we're giving thanks to everything that we've done, but mostly giving thanks to everybody listening to us for making it to the point where we were able to record 650 episodes. There's a lot going on, and we've done a lot with the show. I more recently came on, and I appreciate the guys inviting me to be a part of this and let me kind of run this specific episode the way I wanted. But that being said, we are going to start off in the more traditional sense by doing our trophy counts. And what you don't generally see behind the scenes is we share an agenda. That way, Yield will go in and update the trophies. But I didn't do that this time because tonight is going to be a special trivia night for the boys, and we will be keeping score. And the winner will be crowned episode 650 champion and all of its glory. So with that said, hopefully you gents are able to pull up your trophies on your own. And Tricky, we will start off with you.
I am level 960, total trophies of 33,934 with 979 plats.
Okay. Alex?
I am looking for the agenda, and...
There is no agenda. He just said that.
Oh. Well, shit.
Okay. Well, while Alex pulls up his trophies, I will say Sid is somewhere north of 120 as a level and more than 340 trophies and more than 4 platinums because we haven't updated in a while. Sorry, Sid.
That's actually his actual trophy out.
Okay, good.
He hasn't earned a trophy in a while.
Way to make a liar out of me. Yield, as soon as you're done chugging your drink.
What?
I was just saying, can we just give Yield a round of applause because he's actually on camera with his Bengals Christmas hat.
Yep.
It's an early Christmas miracle.
I'm in this festive mood. It is, right? So I am a newly minted 521 with a trophy count of 10,679 and a new shiny platinum at 200. Thank you. I'll be here all night.
I don't have like a sound effects board to push applause for everybody.
What? He says he doesn't have a sound effect board.
What? Alex?
I am level 513, 10,287 total trophies, and 183 platinums and 182 games.
All right. So, in traditional Trophy Horror sense, we will still go on and talk about what we've been playing this week because I've been playing a bunch.
What are your trophies, Matt?
Well, nobody cares about my trophies since I don't have any trophies. I didn't earn any trophies, so the numbers are still the same as every other episode before me. Tricky, what have you been playing?
When Matt earns a trophy, he'll be like, "Hey, everybody, I earned a trophy this week."
I'll tell you what. Okay, hold on. So I did earn an achievement. And let's see, what can I pull game? Up? I played a bunch of games. That's my issue. So I'm trying to figure out what my last achievement was. And find an escape in level 4 of Backrooms Escape Together, which was just earned this afternoon right before the show. So there you go, folks. I earned something. Hopefully that appeases the trophy gods. Yield. No, yeah. I'm sorry. I was going to Tricky. Tricky, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a bunch of stuff. Mostly Horizon with the remaster. I've also played a little bit of the Dark Pictures Anthology, Man and Medan. Played some Uno. Played some Mortal Kombat 1. I am 2 trophies away from that platinum. But one of the trophies is going to be a pain in the ass.
Oh, you need to boost it?
No, well, I not under the full definition of boost. They have the invasions mode, and there's a Titan battle that only appears at a certain part of the invasion. So it's like I think it lasts 2 months total, and this fight's only available for 4 days and is random. But in order to get you have to beat that Titan battle. But in order to beat that Titan battle, you have to fully go through the invasion and level up your character. Otherwise, you stand no chance at all. So that's completely random. And the other one, which is going to be grindy, is I have to get 4 more cameo characters up to level 15, which is just me just doing tower after tower after tower after tower with a cameo to get that up there. But I should have that platinum. It's just going to take a little while. And that's really it. But I do want to provide an update with the portal because I told you guys last week that I was having a micro stutter issue. And one of the suggestions I kept getting was make sure your console's hardwired. Make sure your console's hardwired. Well, the wire was in the back of my PlayStation, but for some reason it was still running off the Wi-Fi. So once I changed it to the actual LAN setting, I have had 0 issue. Runs smooth, runs great.
I will relay that to my brother. He brought his portal up with him at Thanksgiving, and it wouldn't connect to his 5.
What?
And I think his 5 he got his via Wi-Fi, not landline.
Well, I asked. When I was having the micro stutter, I talked to him about it. He said it is hardwired.
Oh, it is? Oh,
Yes.
okay then.
I also brought my portal over to Thanksgiving, and I tried to connect it from there, and I had no issues.
Really? Yeah, he couldn't get.
It did take a while for it to connect, but once it was connected, it ran perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, he couldn't get connected at my folks, or our folks, I should say.
So, yeah. So, I'm having 0 portal issues now, so I'm happy with that.
Good. So you're finding it's worthwhile to purchase?
In my current situation, no, because I have a TV and a PlayStation in every room. But when I move, my TV selection is going to be very limited. And that's why I did buy the portal, is because I'm not going to be able to just pop on the TV and play however I want, whenever I want. So that's why I bought it. I'm just glad I figured out all the issues beforehand, because it is a great device. I will say the only thing I dislike about the portal is it does feel a little bulky, just because of the fact that, like, I'm used to holding the controller like this, and now I'm holding a controller like this, so it does feel a little bulky.
Well, it's just a giant Vita.
Yeah, but you're with a Vita, it was flat and it was small.
Yeah.
With this, this is a bigger screen, but it's an actual DualSense that's cut in half.
Yeah.
So it just feels bulky. Like, and I'm not saying necessarily that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, after a while, you know, where you normally have your hands to game, it's spread out further. I do wish it did have the option like the Switch where I could detach it, put the screen down, and put my hands wherever. But that's neither here nor there.
Then buy
Like a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
That's what I said, like the Switch.
Buy a Switch then.
I have a Switch. I actually have 2 of them.
Tricky's contributing to those numbers that are someday at some point going to overtake the PS2.
Yeah, well, I passed that message on to Matt, and we got a question about it. So I think we're definitely going to get into that.
Yes. There is one listener question about that, and we will discuss. But if that's all you've been playing, Tricky,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I played other things, but I just haven't earned trophies in them. So it's not popping up and it's not registering in my brain right now.
See, folks, trophy rots the brain. You forget what you play.
Well, I've been playing a lot of Horizon.
So, I mean, yeah. Well, are you enjoying the remaster? Because it's not a remake.
No, it absolutely is fantastic. Here comes the comment from Alex. It looks beautiful. Wow,
Wow, Tricky, that's the only thing you ever say about this game ever. Like,
See?
it's like, that's the past 3 weeks, you're like, oh, it looks so damn good.
I enjoy the Horizon games. I really enjoy them.
We all do. We all enjoy your Horizon games.
But I don't know if I just don't remember the story. Oh, the goddess is following me.
Well, go ahead and answer the goddess, because
Oh,
I want to welcome Saber to the chat.
What do you think?
Yeah, Tricky says okay, Tricky, having played 28 hours of Star Wars Outlaws after their newest updates, worth $35, and then sounds like to Saber that we owe Resident Daryl an apology because he jumped on the portal before everybody else. So I think here's the thing, Saber. The portal had its uses, and it launched without the streaming from the cloud. It had to be your console. And that, to me, was a fatal flaw. And Sony never made any promise that they were going to do it. Now that you could start streaming some PS5 games, it makes it more enticing. So, I'll give credit where credit's due. But maybe if it didn't sell as well as it did, maybe Sony wouldn't have implemented some of those changes. Who knows? Sony drops support for peripherals quicker than
quickly. Even good ones.
How's the PSVR 2 doing?
How's the Vita doing?
Just to answer Saber, Outlaws was always worth the money, but it's definitely worth the $35.
I'm hoping to get to that by the end of the year, maybe.
Rick is here.
I see Rick. Welcome to the chat, Rick.
Rick says he loves this PSVR 2. Speaking of
somebody's
Rick,
using it.
Rick, I gotta get with you and get the those trophies for the Vegas Infinite. We gotta grind those out.
Sorry, before I interrupted, you were saying, Tricky? Something between you and Alex?
What was I saying about Alex?
That Alex was going to make fun of you for your Horizon game.
No, I mean, you just always talk about how I say the same things over and over about games, but here you are. The only thing you say about this game is, "Oh, it looks so beautiful."
Okay. So
it looks so beautiful.
It does look beautiful. It plays well. But I don't know if I wasn't paying attention so much on the first time, but
too busy staring at Aloy, you freaking weirdo.
Probably. I'm really enjoying the story this time because there's a lot of things I don't remember.
Did you not play it? Well, you had to have played it through to get the platinum, so.
I got the platinum twice. I got the 4 version and the 5 version.
Now you're going for a third version?
I'll go for a third version.
See, the only time I'm going to replay the game again is when I go back for the trophy for
New Game Plus.
Yeah, New Game Plus. Basically, those are the only ones I'm missing.
But the good thing, I don't know if it's a good thing. So this game lets you import your PS4 save into this version, which is good because then you can just go straight into New Game Plus. But also good, or bad, depending on how you want to look at it. It doesn't auto pop the trophies.
Well, that would be good. You'd have to earn them again.
Right. So a lot of people bought this thinking they could just auto pop the trophies when they heard about the import. Nope. You have to go through the game legit and earn everything again.
That's the point we're at. People are willing to just buy trophies, just spend the money just to have trophies pop immediately. That's what they want.
But I do want to call out a member of our community. Because
this is a show about celebration. We're not shit talking anybody.
We're shit talking because a member of our community who I'm going to let remain nameless, unless you guys can figure out who it is, which I'm pretty sure you guys are going to figure out who it is almost immediately. But this person has sunk to a new low.
Well, it's obviously tricky
in getting trophies. So apparently there's a game out there that you could go into the dev menu, plug in a keyboard into your PlayStation 5, and auto pop all the trophies. What makes this worse is that you don't even have to buy the game because there's a 2-hour trial for the game. So you can just download the trial, open up the game, plug your keyboard in, and auto pop all the trophies in under 3 minutes. And a member of our community has done that.
Folks, can you believe that to earn trophies, people will do things that are playing games not the way that they're meant to be played? I mean, just yesterday, I was talking about somebody who was playing a fighting game and pre-programmed some moves into their controller so that way they can finish something to earn trophies.
I still had to do inputs.
Tricky, why are you so defensive?
Yeah.
Because you're calling me out.
Really? I never heard Tricky's name mentioned. Alex, did you hear Tricky's name mentioned? I heard Matt say a friend.
Yeah. And it could have been, it's been a while since we talked about that, since that episode with Tricky came up. So, I mean, Matt very well could have been talking about another person. Tricky just assumed it was him because he also did that.
Well, somebody in our chat has called out who that person is and then also admitted they'll be doing it as well.
Oh, dear. Yes. Welcome to the chat, Black Chaos. Well, and Rick said something about it's Daryl. I'll be doing that, too, for the metagame of trophy competitions.
Well, I guess I was right.
Yeah.
That would have been my guess. Although the reason that was my guess is because of the chicanery with, what was that game? You were stranded at sea. Stranded Deep.
Stranded Deep.
Yeah, that chicanery with that, where you could pop those trophies right away and get that easy platinum.
You could, but that was luck of the draw. You had to perfectly match up with somebody, which took a while.
But you could plan everything with somebody, right?
No, there was no matchmaking. You had to search for a game and just hope the person that you matched with had all the trophies already, and then all the trophies would pop.
Answering Rick's question, yes, you will be getting trivia, and that is coming a little later. So, with that said,
making you stick around for the main event, Rick.
Yeah, stick around for the main event.
Giving it up this early.
Yeah,
Rick,
This is going to be like the Tyson fight. So when we get there, it'll all hiccup.
You mean we're just going to let everybody win?
Yes.
Hey, anyone who's listening to Trophy Horse 650 already wins.
I will add Rick to the tally, and then Saber, if you want to join in, I'll add you to the tally as well. Black Chaos, if you want to in on the trivia later, I will add you to the tally.
You know what? Now, I'll spice it up a little bit. If one of the people in the chat beats us, I'll give him a $20 PSN card.
You heard it here, folks. Tricky putting his money where his mouth is.
But you guys are not allowed to Google, and I will know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And here's the thing. There's some questions here you're not able to Google. So
good job, Matt.
Just and those are going to be worth something. No, because I will forbid Chicky from looking at chat. We're going to be doing this in a couple different ways. Anyways, to get to that point, Alex, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I'll run through the stuff that I normally talk about. Ghostbuster Spirits Unleashed, Rocket League, Shredder's Revenge, just a little mix of all of that. But I did play 2 new games this week, and one of them resulted in a brand new platinum for me. Tricky said that he was going to beat me, speed run me to my next platinum, and he didn't have the chance because I beat this game in about a day. So the first game I played.
Oh, let's be real. I said the next game, so that game didn't count.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't think you're going to play the game I'm currently playing either. So
I literally said I was going to start the next game and beat you to that platinum.
Well,
I was waiting for you to start the next game.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess you'll find out what my next game is because I don't hide my trophy list from anybody. Well, I don't. You can look at my trophy list because I don't hide anything because I'm not a bullshitter.
Half the trophies.
I'm not a bullshitter. Well, I guarantee I know exactly what you've done. 100% know what you've done.
What
So-
what have I done, sir? What have I done?
When I get to that second game, I'll tell the listeners. So the first game I played, which Tricky is nowhere good enough to ever earn this platinum trophy, is Raji, an Ancient Epic. It is a third-person action game based and steeped in Hindu lore and legend.
How is
Think
that?
about what that's.
I've been thinking about picking it up. Is it fun? It looks interesting.
So I'm going to tell you, Yield.
Okay.
Think the camera angle of Laura Croft and the Guardian of Light. That kind
Okay.
of
All right.
kind of not behind the shoulder, just kind of far out and kind of above.
Yeah.
So for anyone who has PlayStation Plus and is looking to save a little money, this game is on the extra catalog. It's on the game catalog. So if you have extra, you do not have to pay for it. But for those of like Yield who are thinking about playing, it's a pretty solid action game. I would say sufficient. The main draw of this game, like I said, is the Hindu lore, the mythology, because it does go into stories of a lot of the deities, but also the demons. And for me, it's really cool to see how other groups view evil and how evil kind of manifests for them and how they depict evil and monsters. That's always just really, really cool to me. So, I mean, when that's part of the reason why I played Tales of Kinzera, but also Raji. It's that for me was the big draw, was the mythology of it all. And to be honest, like Greek mythology, Roman mythology, like the Pantheon and all the creatures, that's what really draws me in. It's not necessarily anything else. It's a good action game. I would say it's nothing really that special. You do get access to quite a few weapons, different powers based on flames, ice, lightning. It's a short game, around I'd say 6 to 8 hours. So kind of one of the problems you run into in a game that short is you get powers throughout the game. They kind of drip feed them to you, but some of them you don't get to later in the game, so you don't really get to use them all that much. The good thing is, though, is that after you beat the game, you can go back and chapter select, and you've got all of the favor orbs, which you use to power up your weapons and your abilities. You get all of those. You get all the weapons you've earned. So basically, it's like New Game Plus, but you go in after you beat the game, you open chapter select, and you can go in at any point and play the game with all the abilities you have. So the last weapon you earn is called the chakra, and it's basically this. It works kind of like a boomerang, but it's like a circle, and it floats around you. And it's what you use to fight the final boss, and basically it just shreds things. I mean, you fighting the final boss is still a challenge, but when you go back into chapter select with this thing, I mean, it just wipes the floor with people. It just wipes everything clean. So it is a lot of fun to play with that. So I do like the chapter select and how you can go back if you've missed any collectibles. It's really easy to go back and get them, and how you can just go in with the weapons and everything you've earned and play that way. The favor orbs, you're not going to get enough in a playthrough. There's not enough in the game to fully upgrade everything, but at any given point, you can take the favor orbs out of an ability or an item or a weapon and put them into another. So if you like a playstyle of a different weapon, or you like the ice ability better because you can freeze enemies and then you can shoot them with your bow and arrow and knock them down in one hit, you can take all the favor orbs you put in, say, lightning, and put them into that, which is a nice thing. Like, you don't lose anything there. You can just freely move them around. But I really, really enjoy the game. Like, as far as graphics, I mean, they're fine. They're not really anything special, but the environments that they have in the game, I really like the environment and locations you go into, because, like I said, it's a lot of that Hindu-inspired architecture, and you really don't see a lot of that in games. And so I really enjoyed the different environments you went into, even if the graphics are, like I said, sufficient, but not super overwhelmingly impressive. But yeah, I mean, overall, it is a good action game. Not anything like truly spectacular or special, but if you're somebody who appreciates the mythology of other religions and just fighting monsters and demons from other, pantheons and other mythologies, I'd say give it a shot. If nothing else, it is an easy platinum trophy. It's like 7 gold trophies, 9 silvers. There's 21 total trophies, and the rest are bronze. So you're going to get a hefty amount of golds if you play the game. But just being able to appreciate the architecture and the lore of a different religion, I do really, really appreciate that. So yeah, Ben, hopefully that. Excuse me, Yield.
No government names.
Names.
Hopefully that answers your question. I think it's worth a shot. But I don't know. Also, because it was on extra, I didn't pay for it, so I don't know how much it costs. But
I've seen it on sale a few times, and I've almost pulled the trigger. So
But
Alex, you want to answer the question in the Skype chat?
what is the question?
I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I am kind of putting you on the spot now.
What? Oh God, I gotta scroll down far.
Wow.
If you get the plat in Raji?
Yeah.
Well, no, because I'm just going to end up giving someone $20 for. You're going to have to work hard. If I'm going to give somebody $20 PSN card, you're going to have to work hard on that because
You said I couldn't get the plat.
I was joking. I was pulling your tail. It's
don't
not
have
a
a tail.
hard platinum at all.
I don't have a tail.
But I mean, there is some challenge to it. I mean, one of the frustrating aspects of Raji is the traversal, the platforming, because it is hard to tell via the camera angle where you're jumping sometimes. And like I did just jump into an abyss at some point because I just couldn't tell the angle I was jumping at. And the bosses are challenging. They're ones where you're going to die a few times and you have to figure out, just get better and better at the fights. But I mean, overall, it's easy platinum, but it's still a pretty good game. So no, I'm not going to put that up there, Tricky, because you could easily go get this platinum and like, given how much free time you have recently, you could go get this platinum like tonight. If you
balls.
Tricky.
You got no balls.
Tricky, I got plenty of balls.
And you don't love our fans.
I mean, I do appreciate our fans, but I'm just not. I'm going to make you work for it. If I got to give away a $20 PSN card, your ass is going to work for it.
Vanquish.
Or who knows? Maybe Baldur's Gate. Maybe someone needs to play Baldur's Gate.
That's $100.
Maybe someone's bitch ass needs to play Baldur's Gate. Oh no, I'm Tricky. I have to play a good game.
Wait. Are you playing Baldur's Gate?
No, I'm not playing Baldur's Gate. But I also didn't accept a $125 donation from Kalai and then refused to play the game that she suggested, even though
she didn't suggest it. That literally came up last week while we were recording. That I paid that much money, so you should go play it. That was never a thing until last week.
Okay, well, first of all, you gave the option $10 donation.
Shut up,
and
Rick.
They get to pick. Whoever gets to pick a game for you to platinum, and since Kalai gave you $125, to me, Kalai gets to pick 12 and a half games. That's fair.
But you had to choose the option to make.
I don't care. She gave you $125. You should be glad. It was for the children. It's for the kids.
Yeah, it's for the
kids.
kids.
You should be glad to.
And Rick says she said it in chat on the stream.
On last week's stream.
Kalai was calling her shot.
I think he means on the extra live stream.
I can go back and look.
I'm sure we can.
Actually, today I wanted to, because I took a lot of pictures because I was so impressed with some of the locations in Raji and the architecture that I actually did take. It's one of the first games in a long time that I've actually taken pictures on the PlayStation and like sent them to the PlayStation app. So I actually intended to download this to my phone and post them to the Trophy Wars chat or the Trophy Wars Facebook page because I wanted people to get a good sense of this game. And if I was going to talk about it, I kind of want to have some pictures to go with that. So before the show comes out, I definitely want to do that so people can see what everything looks like, and maybe it'll entice them to give the game a try too. The second game I'm playing is a little game called Dredge, and I do want to say that give a shout out to Homer because I do think Homer recently got the trophy in Dredge.
He did. He got the platinum a week or two ago.
And it's one of those games where with the DLCs and them adding the different fish aberrations, they have updated the platinum trophy. So basically that you have more to do now to get the platinum trophy. It's not like, you meet the requirements and then like the DLC is separate. No, they added new fish and you have to also get those fish to get the platinum trophy, which is fine. I'm not too far into the game. There are 5 key items you have to find that a certain gentleman, a mysterious gentleman, has lost in a shipwreck. And I found the first one, which doesn't really happen too far into the game. And there are 4 other areas to explore. So there's like one island, like little town in the middle, or like chain of group violence. And then there's 4 quadrants in the corners that each one area that you have to, in each one, there's an area that you have to go explore. So I assuming there's an item in each one of those areas. But yeah, I'm basically just kind of figuring out the best way to tackle going out and fishing and dredging, because during the day it's no problem, but during the night, as Donnie would say, the freaks come out at night. Not the Detroit freaks that Donnie was talking about, but there are various monsters and creatures that will try to destroy your ship.
Release the Kraken!
Yeah, and days don't last that long. Like minutes or seconds in the game. The clock goes by pretty fast.
Quick clock.
Yeah. Yeah. So the loop is the days happen really quickly. And actually there's where you start off, there's two little towns. There's one town sectioned off in like, it's almost like this little cove. Like, well, I guess there's two piers. There's Little Marrow and Greater Marrow, and they're all part of like the same little area, but they're sectioned off by a little small area, like a expanse of water. But you can see the two towns from each other. And that little area is kind of itself sectioned off by rocks, so it feels kind of like protected and like, oh, I'm safe in this space. And I was like fishing at night because I was within like the rocks of this safe area that I thought, and all of a sudden this giant like manta wraith looking thing came up from the depths and almost took out my hull. I was like, oh shit, I gotta go pay to repair that. So I am trying to, because the days do go by so fast, have been a little skittish about going out to the open ocean because I know some of the other things that are out there, and well, it ain't nice.
So here's the thing, and one thing to cover is if you're fishing around at night, you start gaining madness, and you have to sleep that off. So it gives you the option when you dock to sleep off for a certain number of hours. If you don't sleep off the madness, you start seeing shit during the day too.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that you get syphilis.
Well, no, it's scurvy. You don't get enough citrus on the boat while you're out there.
Where can I buy lemons, Matt? Where can I get some Sprite to fight this scurvy?
Maybe you haven't been to that island yet.
But that is a good point, is that the different areas do have different ports. So, it's not like you have to go back to the same port every time. You can find safe harbor around the map. Why Tricky probably has half the trophies.
I don't. I was just busting your chops.
Oh. Well, what I assume Tricky is going to do if he does try to play this game, is they added in a recent patch, or one of the post-launch patches, is called passive mode. And what this does is, when you're out at night, there are no creatures. You basically can just fish freely throughout night. So doesn't matter. All like the big monsters, nothing to worry about. So at some point, I do probably want to do that. Just it's just as kind of a way to just fill out my encyclopedia of fish, because one of the trophies is you have to catch all of the fish, and there are hundreds, or at least over 100. Yeah, you got to get them all and all the variations of them. So at some point, I probably will tackle passive mode, but I also do want to see some of the creatures that come and attack you. There are side quests or pursuits, and you do have to take certain items from place to place. You do have to apparently ferry people from place to place, and you can lose them if you lose your ship. So there is challenge in that. But from what I understand, even if you lose somebody or you lose your ship, you don't really get locked out of a trophy. Basically, what it does is it counts that quest as resolved, because you have to do all of the quests or the pursuits in order to get a trophy. So even if you do lose the ship, or you lose an item, you're fine. Although you do get really good rewards from what I understand for completing pursuits. So you may want to reload after a death, or if you fuck something up. But yeah, I mean, I'm liking Dredge so far. It's just mastering the loop of fishing during the day, and also kind of sticking your toes out at night when some big bad creatures can come and get you if you're not careful. So I think that I will become more comfortable with getting out there once being more brazen, once I get a better engine, because right now my engine's sufficient, but basically your cargo space determines how much fish you can hold and how many items. Like what you dredge in the game is essentially what am I thinking for? Resources, like from shipwrecks and stuff, to upgrade and improve your own ship. So that is all contained within your ship. You only have a certain amount of space for all of that stuff, including specific spaces for motors, for fishing lines, for lights to help you see in the dark. So once I get a better motors and can kind of hustle a little bit better, I'll probably be a little bit more brave. But right now, I'm kind of stuck around the main area. But I mean, I'm enjoying fishing. It's just a matter of just building up my braveness, building up my ship, and I don't know how much longer that's going to take. But I've really only played the game for a couple hours, so it's not like I'm just sitting there. I've been doing this whole thing for days. It's just I'm still relatively new to the game.
You're not sitting on the dock by the bay, is what you're saying.
No, not definitely not Mr. O's ready.
No, this is more of a Downeaster Alexa thing where you actually have to go out where the fish are.
Yeah, I mean there are. I mean the one thing
Yoke makes a bad joke and nobody calls him out for it. But if I made that same joke, you guys were like, Chicken, that was horrible.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was.
Anyways,
So no, but I mean, like the one thing they do is there are a lot of fish in the immediate area, and there are also a lot of spots for resource dredging. So even if you're not like at the start, you're not willing to go out super far, you can still collect enough fish to make some money. So it's not like they leave you high and dry.
So I'm actually stuck on the last hull upgrade because I cannot for the life of me find one of the resources. The cool thing that the game lets you do is there's this entire upgrade tree. And you get to, if you find a resource, you can actually slot that in the upgrade tree so it's not taking space up in your hull or your storage. So I've been doing that all along, and there are like 2 resources. I forgot whether it's cloth or metal. I can't find them. So I'm stuck on that one until I can either find it in the wild, or you will actually be able to go out to some vendors and find that they're selling it.
I was going to ask, do vendors sell it?
Yeah, they do. It's one of the rarer ones.
Now, so let me ask this. So Matt's played it, and Alex is just getting started. I've seen that they've got the DLCs. Have they added trophies to the DLC, or is it just extra maps you can play on? Do you know that, Matt?
No, because for me, it's on Steam, and therefore I can check if Alex wants to.
I didn't know if there was extra achievements or something. I was just curious. But like I've seen that they've got the Pale Reach and the Iron Rig. So Dredge is another one that I'm thinking about. Oh, if I haven't gotten to it by Christmas break, I'm doing it then.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say particularly. I haven't bought them yet because I haven't finished the game. I figured I didn't want to actually get them until I was done, though. They are both on sale currently for $11. I may actually do that since it's on sale for the Steam sale. But yeah, no, it's a fun game. I think Alex, especially with the Dave the Diver experience and being able to see from another end of fishing, that it's a lot of fun, and catching all the aberrations is really neat. Seeing how freaky some of those fish get.
Yeah, so I was going to ask, because where I am right now in Greater Marrow, you can the shipwright. Hold on here, sorry, the garage door is going up, so.
That's all right. I can talk a little bit, because one of the things that you have to do is you have to upgrade your fishing gear so you can your crane or your fishing lines, because certain fish can only be caught by certain types of poles. And as you move on in the game, you're going to find that there's poles that can multitask between the different types of fish. And it's not just the poles, but then you have nets, you have crab pots, and a couple other things. So you have to work towards your upgrades to the point where you can do most things without having to uninstall and reinstall different parts of your gear. And that's what I've been able to do. I think the 2 fishing lines I have now can catch all of the fish necessary in fishing spots. What I don't have installed is a net, because you can trawl with nets and they'll catch things as you're
Trawling.
Thank you. Yes. Use the word that I just used. So it's really about how you maximize your space to maximize your fishing potential.
So to answer my question, Matt, I just looked up on PSN profiles. There is a trophy pack for the Pale Reach and the Iron Rig.
Okay.
Real quick here, I'm sure the garage door is going to go down as soon as I start talking, but where do you find the better motors? Because the only ones I can buy where I am in Greater Marrow is rusted out ones that aren't going to do me much good.
You're gonna have to go out to different islands. You can make it to one of the islands on the onset without having to upgrade too much. It'll get late, but you should be able to get there without too much trouble. Like you said, things don't definitely happen in the dark. They can. It's just, can you outmaneuver some of them? And with that, anything else, Alex?
No, really, just I've been playing a lot, but it's a lot of what I've already played. So I've talked about Ghostbusters and certainly Rocket League to death, but really Raji and Dredge were the two that I really, really wanted to talk about. And really, what I needed to do really is I needed a game to get me until December 10th here, 9 days away, because that's when Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Redo's Rewind comes out, and I've already pre-bought it. So yeah. So Dredge will definitely get me there. But yeah, my goal for the end of the year, as we close out 2024 here in Trophy Horse Land, I wanted to play Raji, I wanted to Platinum Trophy Dredge, and or at least get really far into it, and I wanted to play Reader's Rewind and hopefully get the Platinum Trophy in that. Unless there's some crazy, ridiculous trophy in there that's going to be sticking my craw.
Okay. And, coming back on the chat, Saber brings out the crab people meme from South Park when we're back talking about, getting citrus and preventing scurvy. Redbeard Rick asks, is that Sid's new profile at the bottom? He's been playing Bind of Isaac. I think that's been the same picture there for a while now. And then Rick also asked Tricky, what's Plat 1000 going to be? Have you decided yet, Tricky?
I have not.
He has not. And Rick also asked, did Dave the Diver make you want to play Dredge? Now, I played Dredge way before Dave the Diver. Alex, you were the other way around.
Yeah, so honestly, it wasn't really. There is a small part of Dave the Diver that, because obviously one of the DLCs for Dave the Diver is built around Dredge and its mechanics and the fish aberrations, because you do catch in Dave the Diver, you do catch the fish aberrations to sell at your restaurant at a certain time of the month when the fog rolls in, when the hooded figures come, and they're very specific customers, and so you sell them the weird fish and you make a ton of money. And anything you don't sell in the restaurant for dinner service that night, you sell to a merchant and you make a ton of money off of that. But it's a lot more simplistic than what Dredge is. To be fair, Dave the Diver and Dredge kind of have somewhat of a similar gameplay loop, although Dave the Diver, because you're doing the dinner service and you're going fishing, a day takes a lot longer, whereas in Dredge, the days go by a lot quicker. I think I'm just shy of day 20 in Dredge, and like I said, I've only played a couple hours, so but no, not really. It wasn't Dave the Diver that really made me want to play Dredge, because the gameplay is not, while they have a gameplay loop to them that is somewhat similar, it's not really the same style of game. You only get a taste of it in Dave the Diver, and I think that what they do in Dave the Diver doesn't really. It's a nice addition to Dave the Diver, but I don't really think it's something that is going to want to make you play Dredge. I think you want to play Dredge because you just want to play Dredge. I don't know. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
I think so, because when I originally saw Dredge, it had the creepy horror aspect. It had a simple fishing mechanic, because I used to love me some fishing games back in the day, but this is definitely more mass-produced fishing. I don't know how else to describe it. There's no risk in not catching fish, whereas I was going to play Sega bass fishing back in the day. It's like lines break, you miss the hook. But this it gets me that fish catching.
Well, and also, like, I'm really weird and I like resource management in games. And this game, like I said, having, being able to catch a certain amount of fish and go sell them at the market, but also having to collect things to upgrade your ship, resources to upgrade your ship, and then also upgrading your ship and figuring out where your motors are going to go and what kind of lights you're going to have on there to help you see in the dark. There's just a level of item resource management that I really do enjoy. And honestly, just the base level thing of catching fish and selling them to the fishmonger is kind of nice. And there is the exploration aspect to it where you're going to go to different areas, and so I mean, really, it's this. I mean, the story, like, I like the story, but I think really what gets you invested in the game is the gameplay loop. And while you do get a taste of that Dave the Diver, it's just not the same. So, the one thing I do wish though is that you could catch the monsters and sell them for a lot of money. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I don't think they've introduced that mechanic
I
right
know
now
you-
because
I
you
know
just
you-
need to
you're-
survive.
Yeah,
Alex,
no,
you're going to need a bigger boat.
yeah, most definitely. You're gonna have to upgrade your hull. But there is I know you do get nets later on. I'm not quite there. I just have the fishing lines. But I will say that one thing that does kind of annoy me is you can only have like certain rods and certain equipment can catch certain like fish. Like if you're gonna pull up a shark, you're gonna need heavy duty stuff. But that heavy duty stuff can't necessarily catch like eels and other things that are closer to the shallows. So it does kind of annoy me that I'm having to pick and choose what equipment I have on my small ship right now, and I'm gonna pass pools of teeming fish that I can't catch because I don't have the right equipment. That is a little bit annoying. Hopefully, as I upgrade my ship, I can have more of that stuff on there, so it's not as much of an issue.
Yeah,
I would think so. The bigger ship you get, the more you could carry a big, a heavy and a medium and a small. That way you can fish everything. Would be my guess.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what you'll do is as you expand your hull, as you expand your slots, you'll be able to get gear that'll let you catch multiple types of fish.
Oh, and a little trophy tip is something you can get out of the way soon in the game. Before you start upgrading the size of your ship, there is a trophy called Perfect Packing, which tasks you with filling up your entire ship with fish and resources and whatever. That's much easier to do when you have less space to fill up, and when you can use smaller fish and more normal fish. The stuff you find just right outside the town that you can easily, you know, find, because the way that your item inventory works, it's a grid system. So basically, each fish or each resource takes up a certain amount of space. Sometimes it's like three. Like think of it as like Tetris pieces. Sometimes it's 3 down. Sometimes it's two.
Can you
Two
rotate 'em?
spaces. Yeah, and you can rotate them, and you
Okay.
can rotate everything and like move them around to make them fit. So it is almost like a little game of Tetris.
Mini Tetris. I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, so there is that trophy, and it is easier to get the sooner you can get it in the game.
Yeah, the folks get on it early. Yield.
He said
Yo.
with such enthusiasm.
Well, I was thinking more like the Resident Evil
down
4
on it.
attaché system. Yield, what have you
So-
been playing?
Oh wow! So since it's been a couple of weeks, you'd think I've been playing a lot, and I've been playing a lot of the same thing. Been playing some Rocket League with Alex and the guys. I've been playing some Ghostbusters Unleashed, helping out Nitro get his platinum, and just kind of messing around. I need to go back to it so I can go ahead and prestige up my second time. I'm only a couple of levels away. Went back into Sniper Elite 3, Africa, and was playing the Churchill DLC, and I got through that. So all I have to do now is purchase the Führer DLC and kill Hitler and work on that one. That was back when they were putting trophies with pre-order bonuses. That was one of the games they did that too. So I have to purchase that DLC pack so I can get those trophies. I farted around with some Farm Simulator 19. Fired up Real Truck Simulator USA to kind of see if I could figure out to get some trophies to pop. And then I screwed up and got my truck hung up. And then I was like, screw it, I'm done. I'm moving on. Went back into some Helldivers 2. Just so I could work on the latest War Bond. So I did that a couple different nights. I've been playing some Lawnmower Simulator, advancing myself to July 4th so I can get that platinum, which I'm set up to do that. So I'll hold off. It won't be next podcast. It'll be the podcast after. I'll have that one. Fired up Expeditions, a Mud Runners game, because they had some free Halloween skins for one of your trucks if you connected it to your, what they call your pro account, which I think is just basically kind of like how Ubisoft does when you hey, connect this to Ubisoft.com and you can get these free stuff. Pro is like Saber's website that you can connect the game to, and then you can get freebie stuff. So I did that, and while I was there, I kind of started playing it. So, and I kind of think that's really about all I've been playing. My latest platinum came in Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. That was number 200. I knew that it was going to be that or Tunic. I had to do a lot of grinding in Warhammer 40,000 because you had to do a total 40,000 total kills between your playthrough and multiplayer, and then you had to finish it all off doing something else. And so I was kind of grinding away at doing that, and you can't check to see where you're at. There's no counter to go to and be like, oh, I'm at 30,000 kills. You just keep grinding away until it pops. And so Friday I was home all day, and I'm going to knock out a few rounds of these, to get closer, and the trophy ended up popping. So
MZ's in chat, and he does say thank you for that help, Yield.
No, you're very welcome. We still got to get Homer and Riley, but yeah.
And Rick does say that's awesome that he needs to play the 40K game. And yes, Rick, you are playing an Ultramarine.
Yes.
And there's a lot of brothers being thrown about.
And I did pick up Space Marine 2. So
yes, which is an awesome game in and of itself.
I should have that hopefully in a week, because I ordered it Friday morning, Thursday night, part of Black Friday. So
nice. All right, so we'll go through the list of what I've been playing, which is a bunch of stuff. As I mentioned earlier, I played a game called Backrooms Escape Together, which is it's a multiplayer game, and it just drops you in like this spooky space. Like the best you could say, it's like an abandoned warehouse, and you have to find your way out. And it gives you tasks to do, and you can play with other people, and you get chased by monsters. Like first, it was, as best as I could tell, it's a giant squiggly monster, and yeah, it makes this like really deep roar, and it chases you all throughout the back rooms. And you have like little alcoves you can go to escape. I didn't escape too often. And each level is just a way you figuring out how to get out. Like the next level after that was a garage. And what you have to do, it gives you the task of having to turn on 5 generators. And to turn them on, you have to sit there and hold the button down, and the thing slowly goes up. But then suddenly the lights go out, and you have a flashlight, and you're looking around, and there's a monster hunting you, and you have to flash your light at the monster to keep him away until the lights turn back on. And then once you get all 5 generators running, you're good. You just have to find the way out. And it's done in Unreal 5, so it looks incredible for as minimalistic as it is. In another one of the levels, the lights go out and you turn around, and there's just like this smiley face with glowing blue eyes and a big red mouth. Kind of like if you guys have seen Poppy's Playtime, what that looks like, just hovering in the middle of the air. So it's a very spooky game. I put more time into MechWarrior 5 Clans, just playing solo, upgrading my mechs, earning new mechs. Today it's kind of one of the most iconic mechs of the series. It's called a Timberwolf. Mechs range anywhere from like 25 to 100 tons. This is a 75-ton mech that has 2 giant shoulder-mounted rocket launchers, big arms with lasers on them, machine gun all over. It's a massive machine of death.
Sounds like a nerd's wet dream.
It really is. As a matter of fact, I need to go change my pants. And it is...
You and me both, brother.
It's the most iconic mech that is out there, except for maybe like the Atlas, which is the series mainstay. But I'm having fun with it. It's a nice balance, whereas MechWarrior 5's Mercenaries is you're running your own Merc Corps, and you have to literally like balance books and take missions that you could do to earn money. Otherwise, too much destruction, and you have... Your repair bills are massive. Clans is more of a straight line story based game where it kind of simplifies some of the mech building, but it's done with the clan's history in mind. I'm not going to bore everybody with the details of what that is, but it's a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it. I did purchase and start my run of Tunic again. I did this on Xbox, but having since given up Game Pass. So I am now having this on Steam, and I'm playing it on my Steam Deck. And man, it's nice having that instruction which shows the map, but I find myself getting lost frequently. And I'm like, how the hell do I get back to the starting area? But I've gotten 3 health pots. I've gotten the explosives. I've gotten a couple other odds and ends that help me defeat some enemies that I haven't been able to defeat when I played it last. So I'm just exploring that as I will. It's a fun game. If you like Zelda adventures, this is very much a Zelda adventure type of game. I put more time into Star Wars Outlaws. So Saber, hopefully you're still around, because I was definitely been enjoying that. I am now finally off the main planet. I've completed all of the mainline story quests on that planet. I have now decided to go to Tatooine as my next destination. And I'm exploring that as much as I can, though I'm finding the thing I find annoying about the game is as I'm zooming around on my speeder, suddenly I'll enter enemy territory and they'll see me, and that takes a hit to my reputation. So it's like they give you this fast speeder, but you're in a way penalized for using it. So I've been having a lot of difficulty with that, but I have been benefiting from the fact that you no longer have the mission stopped when you get caught in stealth sections. I've been finding ways to blast my way out, so I've been doing good with that.
Well, Matt, I'll correct you on one thing. You only take a hit from the rep if you go into the restricted areas.
Well, that's exactly it. Is I'm speeding through, and I'll speed through a restricted area, and suddenly they see me.
Oh, because there are large sections that are certain territories, but it's only if you're seen in the restricted areas that you take a hit to your rep.
Yeah, and frequently I'll speed right by the opening of it, and I'll suddenly see huts with a down arrow being like, "Up, now you're taking the hit there."
Yeah, I mean that sucks, but I will tell you later in the game, you do have the opportunity to get the rep up for all of them at the same time, so that's not necessarily a problem anymore.
Oh, good. I'm still having fun with it. Again, I don't mind the stealth sections. I do it where I can. And, if I have to start blasting my way out in true outlaw fashion, I'll do that. So the thing I'm starting to really try to buckle down on is completing as much as I can on a planet before I have to be forced to go on to the next one. Because in games like this, I tend to just ignore that stuff once I leave. I know you can go back. I know you can get different items to help you with those sections. But I don't know. It's always my thing. It's like I want to complete as much as I can in a place before I move on. And then also with our main gal, Kalai, I played the Dark Pictures Anthology, House of Ashes. I know, Tricky, you've been doing Man of Medan. We decided to do House of Ashes since we both own that on PC. And the remote play is not working for a specific reason I'll go into after the show. So we got through a good half of the game playing one day, and I think it was about 3 hours worth. So, 6-hour game for us to play through. I know we were talking there was a trophy, and we had questions. Again, we're playing on PC, so I can't answer what happens if somebody doesn't play through. I think I got a trophy, and she did not. So that was something else. I was playing something else where that happened. I have fun with it. I've already killed off one of the main characters because I fucked up. I thought couldn't possibly happen that way, and it did. And he is very dead. There is no coming back from that. I know sometimes these games try to throw, a trick in there, be like, haha, this character's dead. But an hour later, haha, they're actually not. No, this guy's way dead based on what I've seen.
He must have lost his head.
He's dead. You remember the end of Logan?
Yes.
Yeah, basically that.
I try not to think of that because it scars me.
It just certainly scarred Logan.
Don't worry. They fixed it in Deadpool Wolverine.
They did. And then finally, the last game I've been playing. Actually, no, I do have 2 more games. I was playing Party Animals, which is a battle brawler. Basically, you and your friends go into levels and just fight each other. And it's got silly dolls that you use. You know, in this case, they're shaped like animals, where you get to headbutt each other, pick each other up, throw them off. Various levels. Like we fought on top of a sub. And as the level went on, the sub started diving. So you had to find higher and higher ground until it was just the 2 of you on the top of the sub's canopy. And you're trying to fight to throw the other off. And in larger battles, that could be a lot of fun. And then finally, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Splintered Fate. I was playing that with my buddy Steve. I think we got to the 3rd level, which is where we started running out of steam because there's upgrades in that game, and we're at the point where it's starting to get expensive for them. Like 5,000 of an item will give me my 3rd revive. But I've got multiple dashes. I've got access to different types of powers, and I'm having a lot of fun for a Turtles game. Again, I think it was originally mobile. Again, the voice acting on it is very good. It's very they sound very professional for what it is, and everybody sounds like you'd expect them to sound, which is a good thing. And that is what I've really been playing this week.
Matt, the TMNT reminds me of another fellow who loves Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I do want to give a shout out to him, Mr. Joe Priestley, who messaged me the day before Thanksgiving. Fuck you, Tricky. And said that
fuck him. I didn't say fuck you.
I said fuck you for Joe. Joe's not here to defend himself, so I will defend Joe. Joe, fuck you. Joe messaged me and said he would be willing to run through the Dark Pictures Anthology games with me. So a shout out to Joe for that. Thank you, sir.
Well, I hope your run goes a lot better than my first one does. Because
you know what? Sometimes
I'm not doing well.
My first time through Until Dawn, when that first person dies, you're like, oh wow. Well,
I was okay with my first person dying. I was really pissed about the one person dying that you have to hold the controller really still, where the monster is like on the other side of the pillar. I fucking held that controller still, and then for some reason it was like, nope, you moved, you're dead. I was sore about that.
That's when you just put the controller down.
I was not. Yeah, I didn't need to, Tricky. My controller was perfectly still.
Well, obviously it wasn't because you died.
By the time you realize that, what you have to do, you putting it down would cause certainly enough noise for the monster to be like, oh, you're dead.
Anyways, so in Trophy Horse fashion, we will continue on with a semi-normal show by going to listener questions.
Time to check my social media, yeah.
Such a great soundbite.
We are going to go to Thomas's question first, because the second question asked by Will is going to spark some entertainment. And that is, what game has drove you to the point of madness? Anybody want to stick up first?
I'll tell you what, those realism trophies in Birds of Steel were quite annoying for me. Quite good. You felt really great when you got them, but trying to get them, yeah, I would say it made me mad in that sense of madness.
I don't. I mean, I've played extremely hard games, but tricky.
I can't think of any games that really drove me crazy.
I mean, I could think of like hockey games where I was playing and I was like, well, that's bullshit. That should have never gone in.
Alex, I would say it's probably the first Helldivers getting the 10,000.
That was more of a grind.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, but that's gotta drive you crazy though.
I was trying to look through my trophy list and kind of come up with something, but I guess what I would have to say, because it really, I persevered to the end of the game and through the DLC. But it was this first section of a game that really drove me away from an entire fucking genre, and that was Central Yarnum in Bloodborne. I, whew, I discovered a new language. I think playing that fucking section of that game because I do not want to have to sit there and fucking grind through enemies just to defeat 2 fucking werewolves on a goddamn bridge, only to find out there's a much larger fucking werewolf at the end of the goddamn bridge. Yeah,
So you're saying Bloodborne's really tough?
Yeah, I mean, I got like I said, I got through the DLC, I got through the game, but man, that was the most I I had to set my frustration and anger aside more in that game than any other game I've probably ever played, because a lot of games I've like, like with Vanquish and Tactical Challenges, I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I'm just gonna stop. This is the one game I think where I came up against a wall and I just kicked through the wall with some superpower I didn't know that I fucking had. And not long after that, the Father Gascoigne fight. Oh, that motherfucker. God. But I got through it. And like I said, though, I will not play another From Software game. I don't give a shit. I'm not playing another one of their games because, again, if I'm skilled enough to defeat something, I should be able to. But if you're going to make me grind through each area just to become strong enough to defeat a boss, that's not really my playstyle. Again, From Software, extremely successful, so their games, are enjoyed by a lot of people, just not by me. But yeah, Central Yarnum and goddamn Bloodborne is probably what I would have to say.
I do have an answer. I'll just say Flappy Goat. That drove me fucking crazy. And I did it twice.
I can see that because a game like Flappy Anything is beyond frustrating in the fact of it's so simple and you think you're doing something right and the game's like, nope, fuck you, you lose. I don't know. Because Saber says it in chat, Dark Souls in early form. I think because I played Elden Ring first and I went back to play Dark Souls, I think it was maddening. It's like, why? This is just not fluid. I hate the way this plays. So I eventually gave up on it. And then Rick says Dead Space 2 getting the hardcore trophy drove me mad. I absolutely agree. I think that was where you had 3 saves total, no checkpoints. And that was it. If you died, that was it.
You had to play on the hardest difficulty, and you had to start from a new game. You did not get New Game Plus. So, I mean, Sid has also earned that platinum trophy, I think, on another profile. So, kudos to Sid. I also think Donnie got it too. But yeah, I didn't even attempt that fucking trophy.
It's not definitely not an easy one to give with.
I'm just like, I saw that and I'm like, well, this is certainly for somebody else not named me.
All right, and the next question, which is going to spark some discussion, we'll say. Will asks, why do you say that Sony, quote, moved the goal line, end quote, after reporting their PS2 sales numbers? What other company is reporting sales numbers from a console that ended its production line 2012, 2013?
Okay, I'm going to defend Sony here for a second.
Oh,
no.
But you'll understand why I'm defending them.
So
we understand why you defend them.
I think Matt has a point of like, okay, we're 3 generations behind. Why are you just now reporting updated numbers? But they didn't really come out and say, hey, we know Switch is getting close, so we just want to report our actual numbers. They put out a webpage for the 30th anniversary and celebrated the fact that they sold how many PS2 copies. So it wasn't like Sony came out and said, oh, well, this is how many we actually sold. They were celebrating the 30th anniversary and celebrating the fact that they had the best-selling console of all time.
Okay, but it's not the 30th anniversary of the PS2. It's the 30th anniversary of the PS1, which is why you have the side plates that make the PS5 look like a PS1.
It's the 30th anniversary of PlayStation.
Yes, exactly. Not the PS2.
Okay.
Why don't they then have side plates that make it look like a PS2, Tricky?
I'm sure they will.
Also, look at the language. It's not just, hey, these are the total sales, the best-selling video game system of all time. It's they say the first video game console to reach 160 million in sales. The first. That's what they're going with now because they can see, as Matt says, that they're probably going to get passed by the Switch.
Oh, they're going to get passed.
They want to go out there and say we're the first. Not that we have the most console sales of all time for this one console. We are the first to reach this benchmark, which because it's 2024, the Switch can't go back in time, so they can't take that away from Sony.
Which I'm going to call shenanigans on, and here's why.
Here we go.
Because Rick, no, PS2 is not greater than Switch. Thank you.
It absolutely is.
Are you done?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going to agree with you on that, Matt.
Are you done? Are you all done?
We're all entitled to our opinions, but I'm not going to jump in that boat.
Here's the thing: the original Nintendo was debuted on July 15th, 1983, right? So 2023 would have made 10, 20, 30, 40 years, right? And yet, Nintendo stopped reporting on Nintendo DS sales in 2016, which their total was 154.02 million. What would have stopped Nintendo from going, for 40, we're going to update our numbers for Nintendo DS? Because I guarantee they're pushing that number if they haven't exceeded it. The Nintendo DS was a force, and the Nintendo Switch might have stumped some of those sales, but I don't think enough. If Nintendo really wanted, they could have completely gone in there and stuffed that sales numbers down Sony's throat. So when we talk about moving the goal line, they're the only one reporting sales numbers of decades old console. And that's where it gets me. Now, there's talking about where the console may still be sold in areas like Brazil and other parts of Africa. So I get it, but I have issues with them suddenly coming out with the number, miraculously for their 30th anniversary.
Look, we all know that the Switch is going to pass the PS2. That's not debatable. But again, they didn't put out a press release saying, "Hey, we're reporting our sales for the PS2." They put out a 30th anniversary page, and somebody posted, "Oh, well, this is what PlayStation is boasting on their website." It's not like Sony came out and said, "Hey, this is our lifetime sales of the PS2," just to move the goal line. They updated the 30th anniversary page. Alex, I get your point that it's the 30th anniversary of the PlayStation 1, but what they're doing is celebrating 30 years of PlayStation.
Yeah, but do they have these sales numbers for all the consoles or for landmark games?
They have milestones for every console. They just boasted the sales of the PS2 because it is the best-selling console of all time. And Matt, to your point, you are right about the DS. But me personally, I don't count portable gaming sales, the same way that I would equate them to console sales. Because to me, that's two different markets.
I see what you're saying. I don't agree with it.
That's fair. The problem with the Switch, and it's not really a problem, but the issue with the Switch is the fact that is it a handheld or is it a console?
Yes.
That's the problem. And you're absolutely right. It's like yes to both.
It's both.
Yeah. Right. But I'm saying, oh God, somebody must have said Jimmy Ryan.
Well, man, hopefully he's still here for when we get around to some of the questions.
Anybody that sells that many units deserves to be applauded. But I honestly, I think that console sales and handheld sales should be held in two different categories, because to me, they're not the same thing.
Welcome to the chat, Resident Darrow, who says best handheld of all time is the Vita Baby. Obviously, the sales numbers disagree.
You got to say that right. It's not baby, it's baby.
Anyways, hold on one second.
Holding on.
Sorry, folks. Little Zelda emergency at the moment. So, with that said, again, I think the end result here is just, yeah, it's for their 30th anniversary, but very suspicious, and I'm highly critical of them just throwing out the number 160 million just because they found some hanging chad somewhere.
Okay, so Matt, let me ask you this: would it have been worse if the Switch passed the number and then Sony came out and reported that number and said, "Oh, we're taking back the lead"?
Oh, absolutely.
So yes, they moved the goal line, but the goal line is where the goal line is.
Yeah, well, again, the fact that they're reporting out on decades-old systems just to say that they hit a number. Again, it's for me, it's a lose-lose situation for them to be in. But I to your point, I applaud them for selling 160 million. I just question the veracity of the truth.
Rick says in the chat, PS2 selling that many 25 years ago is more impressive, though.
Again, it was a multifaceted system in that it was a Blu-ray player, which a lot of people bought. And Daryl says, if you count reselling, it's 500 million. It definitely was sold and resold multiple times. But I think with that said, we can move on to the main feature of today's show. And again, being the 650th show of Trophy Whores. The purpose that I want to do, so for those of you who didn't read, I put together a little trivia for the guys. And really, it's a look back on Sony's history. And these questions, keeping in mind, I could have gone into any of the gaming history, but since you guys focus predominantly on Sony systems, a lot of the questions are Sony-centric. These are going to be mostly multiple choice, and it's 1 point per question that you get right. And we're going to go in a roundtable to make sure that everybody gets a chance to answer first. I want to be fair. The folks in the chat, you have the option to weigh in as well. I will tally your scores as well. No Googling. If you Google, we will know. And the person with the most points gets crowned 650 champion.
All right. Just for the record, I've shut down all chats, so I cannot see the chat in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, I will keep track. Most of these questions are going to be multiple choice. There are some open-ended questions, but it's very short. There's not going to be any, you don't have to write 5 sentences. All questions are 1 point each. I will note when there are double points questions. So be aware of that. There are 20 questions in all. And now I'm annoyed because I actually did have something else on there, and now I have to think of that. All right. No, because there was something I put in there, and it's annoying me that I can't find it now, and now I have to figure that out between now and then.
At the fact that we started the show and there was no sound, and then halfway through the show, Skype decided to start showing the active viewer instead of me, and I'm fixing that. It's just whenever we do these shows, something always goes wrong.
That's okay. All right. So, and for the chat, your first answer in chat just type the letter A, B, C, D, E, whatever it is. Your first answer is what I'm counting. I am not taking redos. I am not entertaining A, no B. And please type the letter. I don't want to have to do searching back and forth as people are answering. So, are we all ready?
How are we submitting answers, Matt? Because if one person just says the answer, then somebody else like
he's doing a round table. So like one time you're gonna answer first, I'm gonna answer second, yield, and then the second time I'm gonna answer first, then yield, then you. He's just gonna call randomly, so the same person doesn't go first, second, or third all the time.
Okay, don't steal my answers, Tricky.
Hey, if I like your answer, that's the beauty of the game.
That's the beauty of going last.
That's the strategy.
One of these days, we will integrate some sort of survey system.
We need the Buzz TV controllers.
That's what I think we got to get to at some point. So we will start with Alex, then yield, then Tricky, and then yield, Tricky, Alex, then Tricky, Alex, yield. We're going to go in that order.
On the hot seat first.
On the hot seat first.
Time to set the pace, motherfuckers.
First question. What was the first PS3 game to have trophies on launch? A, God of War. B, Uncharted Drake's Fortune. C, Super Stardust HD. D, Heavenly Sword.
Super Stardust HD.
Yes, it was.
Thanks, Tricky.
God of War was for the PS2. Uncharted Drake's Fortune had trophies added later. And Heavenly Sword still does not have trophies.
Okay. So Rick got that. Black Chaos and Saber did not do. Resin Daryl did. Okay.
Did yield
Good
again?
job. Yes.
I didn't hear you, yield. Sorry.
The feature about that was
no, you answered it. You answered it for everybody when you said yes. That's correct.
Oh, I was just giving my answer. I apologize.
Yeah. All right. Daryl, yeah, press the letter. Next time I will not count your answer unless you actually answer the way deemed necessary.
Answer in the form of a question.
Which launch model, number 2, which launch model of the PS3 can play PS2 games? A, the 80 gig only. B, the 60 gig only. C, the 20 gig only. D, the 80 and 20 gigabyte systems. Or E, the 60 and 20 gigabyte systems. Yield?
Thought it would be this. Let's go to the 60 and the 20.
Tricky?
It was the 60 only.
Alex?
I'm going to go 60 only.
All right, and then answers from the crowd. Rick says 80 only. Black Chaos says 60 only. Saber says 80 only. Daryl says A, 80 only. Correct answer E, the 60 and the 20 gigabyte systems were PS2 backwards compatible. All
No,
systems.
they were not.
I have the link in the chat, in the agenda for all of the answers. So stuff it.
That is not right.
That is what I found on according to the internet.
Only the bigger one was backwards compatible.
Oh, 60 and 20. If you find an answer, maybe I'll consider reversing the point. But for right now, it was only the 60 and the 20. All right. Number 3. What was the name of the launch PS3 controller? A, the OmniDirect. B, the 6-axis. C, the 6-degree. D, the OmniAxis.
Wait, I'm sorry. Repeat that again because I was Googling.
Oh, stop Googling. You can wait until after. I know you're not Googling this answer. Just answer. Okay, here we go again. What was the name of the launch PS3 controller? A, the OmniDirect. B, the 6-axis. C, the 6th degree, D, the omni-axis.
Okay. I got my answer.
And?
Am I first?
Yes, you're first.
The 6th axis.
Okay, Alex?
6-axis.
Yield?
Let's go 3 for 3. The 6-axis.
Okay. And from chat, I got Rick, Daryl, Black Chaos, and Saber all with B. You are all correct. So marking that down. Yes, it was the 6-axis. If you remember that Sony had to change the controller because of a lawsuit that was going on regarding the Rumble feature. Question 4. I need to start separating where all the answers are in chat so that way I don't mess that up. Question 4. How much was the PS2 at launch? Alex, you're up first. So A, $399, B, $299, C, $349, or D, $249?
$399.
Yield?
This was the PS2.
PS2.
Yeah, $399.
I'm
Tricky?
going to say $299.
Make sure everybody in chat gets their answer. And Rick says A. Black Chaos says A. Saber says A. And Rick says, thought you said 3. And the answer is B, $299. And I remember because I had exactly 300 and some odd dollars in my account when I bought the PS2, and I emptied my bank account at the time buying that system. So thank you all there. Make sure. Yeah. Okay. So next, Daryl, if you get this wrong, I'm going to be very upset at you.
Oh, boy. This is a Vita question.
What year did Jimmy Ryan become president and CEO of Sony Entertainment? Yield. I'm sorry. I'll give you the answers.
Is this multiple choice? Okay.
Nope, yeah, multiple choice. Sorry.
Okay.
A, 2017. B, 2021. C, 2018. Or D, 2019.
We'll go 2018.
Tricky?
Oh, I'm trying. I had an answer before you gave it the multiple choice. Then when you get the multiple choice, now we're starting to question it. Let's go with my initial thing and say 21.
Okay, Alex?
2019.
That's the other one I was thinking of.
And in chat, Saber says, I don't answer a question about trash. Rick says 2021. Chaos says 2021. Daryl says best president of all time, baby. Answer is 2019, D.
And I remember that because I argued so much with Daryl about goddamn Jimmy Ryan that
that's why it fits as a question, because it's not necessarily, it's history of Sony as well, but it's also history of this show. And that's kind of what I'm trying to get with some of these questions. All right, question 6.
I'm upset because when you gave the multiple choice, I was thinking it was 19, but initially before you gave the multiple choice, I was like, it was 21.
I was only a year off. I'm okay with that.
Nope, because remember the PS3 launched in what was it? Or I'm sorry, the PS5 launched in 2020, and Daryl continuously credits Jimmy Ryan with the PS5 being successful because of Jimmy Ryan.
Yeah, but I thought Sean Layden didn't leave until after the 5 launched.
No, Sean Layden I think was out for a while. All right, next question. Not including colors, how many models / variations of the PS1 have there been? Pay attention. Variations. Okay. A, 3, B5, C7, or D2?
Ricky's first.
Tricky.
Okay, not the answers. Repeat the question again. Just so I'm hearing it right.
Not including colors. How many models / variations of the PS1 have there been?
Five.
Okay. Alex?
3.
Okay.
I am so wrong, but my gut says 2.
Okay. And in chat, we've got Rick who said 2, and Saber said 3. So I have a feeling you guys are going to be upset with me, or at least those who answered incorrectly.
You're going to say 7, aren't you?
The correct answer is 3. Taken from Sony's history page. You have the PlayStation 1 original, you have the PlayStation 1 Slim, and then you have the PlayStation Classic, which is registered as a variation on the PlayStation 1.
Didn't think about the Classic.
Oh, hold on.
You were wrong anyway, so it doesn't matter. I was
no.
one.
I was thinking originally before you gave the answers, I thought there was 4. So I knew there was more than 3. Because I don't think you're counting the PS1. All right.
Rick, I know you're upset, buddy, but look on their page.
I'm under protest. I'm under protest on this.
How many of these questions are you going to protest?
Because there was 3 versions of the PlayStation 1. And if he's adding the Classic, that's a 4th. But there was also one that was
I'm not adding the Classic. Yeah, well, no, the Slim was the one that
attachment.
That was an attachment to the Slim.
No. There was an actual PlayStation 1 that had a screen built into it.
That was the PlayStation Slim.
No.
Don't be upset at me. Be upset at what's listed on Sony's history page. A lot of these questions were taken directly from Sony's history.
Matt, I just got that question right, so I think you're doing a great job.
I know you think so.
I got the answer right because I know PlayStation history.
Is that 5 questions there, Matt?
Is that what?
That was the 5th question, right?
That was the 6th question.
All right, can we get a score update just so I know how far I'm behind now?
All right. Right now, Tricky is 3, Alex is 4, Yield is 3, Rick is 3, Saber's 2, Chaos is 1, Daryl is 2.
Okay.
All right. Next question. How many blocks were available in a standard PS1 memory card? I believe it's Alex's up first.
Wow.
A, 20, B, 15, C, 13, D, 18.
Oh.
Chaos, how many blocks, not how big the cards were. I'll allow you to re-answer.
None of my initial guess was wrong.
Yeah, so is mine. Who's first?
Alex. What he's thinking, can you give me the answers again? Because I was locked in on my answer.
I was going to say, was anyone else thinking 16?
No. I was thinking less than
that. So 20, 15, 13, or 18. Remember, blocks.
I don't think it's going to be odd, so I'll go 18.
Okay. Yield?
I was going to go 8 originally, but since that's not an option,
I was going to go 8 too. Yield too.
And I was dead set. I was right, so I'm going 18 with Alex. That makes the most sense to me right now.
What does Cosmo say?
What's Cosmo say?
He says whatever. He says he agrees with me because I'm so smart.
Tricky.
I was gonna go 18 as well, but I'm leaning more towards 15.
Final answer?
Final answer is 15.
15 is the answer.
There you go. You're welcome.
It was an 8 megabyte card.
Yes. 8 megabyte
with 15 blocks. Remember? Because they used to, you get to save per block, not per megabyte. What the hell's that? So let's see. Saber's wrong. Rick got it right. Daryl got it right. All right. Question number 8. And again, I'll give the update after the 10th question. 8. What was the name of the PS2 processor? Everybody knows that the PS3 was the Cell processor, and devs hated it. What was the name of the PS2 processor? A, MU engine. B, Sony engine. C, Cell engine. D, MU engine.
Did you say MU engine twice?
I'm going to go with D.
I'm sorry, D. Okay, let me go over this answer again before we go. A, MU engine. B, Sony engine. C, Cell engine. D, Emotion engine.
Oh, Emotion engine. I'll still go with D.
D, okay. Tricky?
I think A was NU engine.
MU engine, yes.
We'll go with that.
Okay. Alex?
The Emotion engine.
Okay, and in chat we got Rick. Got you there, buddy. Saber, got you. Chaos, got you. And the answer is D, Emotion engine.
Yes.
I've never heard that.
Look it up on Sony's history page.
I can't Google anything right now.
Yes, well, I will send the agenda to you all so you can see the links that show the answers I gave.
You know, what Tricky doesn't know is that behind the scenes, Yield and I both gave Matt money to make Tricky lose this game.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
All right. Question 9. This better be a freaking softball for you guys. Tricky's up first. Where did the PS3 first launch? Because remember, we didn't always have simultaneous launches across the globe. So where did the PS3 first launch? A, Europe. B, the US. C, Japan. E, Australia.
Japan.
Alex?
Japan.
Yield?
All right. Well, I'm not going to be the only one wrong here, so I'm going to go Japan.
Okay. And then I got Rick.
How do I think it's the UK?
I got Daryl. And you're all right. It's Japan.
Okay. Because UK was going to be my guess until everybody else was Japan, and I was like, I'm not getting this one wrong.
There was a little bit of a trick in there because I threw Australia in there, and that wasn't a launch country. That came much later.
I immediately said Japan, but then when he gave the multiple choice, I went, oh shit, he said England. Was it England?
I know. I'm sorry, Rick. UK is always last. All right. Question 10.
Okay. Number 10.
I'm sorry. Who's going first? Tricky or Alex?
Alex's turn. Tricky
Alex.
just went.
Thank you. Apologies. I'm trying to keep up here.
No, that's right.
All
I
right.
knew I was last.
What was the name of the PS3 user interface? A, the cross media bar. B, the cross function bar. C, the cross action bar. D, cross entertainment bar.
Cross media bar.
Final answer?
Final, Regis.
Okay. Yield?
I'm going with A as well. The good old XMB. The best one ever.
Okay. Tricky?
I'm concurring.
Okay. Then we've got Daryl. And I got Black Chaos. And we got Saber. And Rick. Official answer is A, the cross media bar with an X used in place of a C, because Sony was extreme
You know what? You know, Matt, that was a good opportunity to give us a false answer and just piss Tricky the fuck off.
Oh, I would have lost my shit because I knew it was the SMB.
All right. Updated standings. Tricky 6. Alex 7. Yield 6. Rick 6. Saber 3. Black Chaos 4. Daryl 5. That's halftime, folks. How do you feeling so far about the game?
Hey, I'm in the top 3. Woohoo!
I should be at 8, but we won't go there.
Oh, again.
I have never heard someone bitch so much about a trivia game in my life.
Right.
'Cause I'm competitive and I know I'm right.
All right.
Obviously, you're not because you're in third.
All right.
No, you're behind me, sir.
Actually, no, we're tied.
You guys are tied. All right. Daryl, let me know you're still in chat because I need to make sure you're here for this question. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate the support. Sorry that your brain hurts, Black Chaos. All right. Question 11. What year did the Vita launch?
Oh, Jesus Christmas.
A, 2009. B, 2011. C, 2012. Or D, 2010. Yield.
Can you run it by the answers one more time?
2009, 2011, 2012, 2010.
I'm wrong, but I'm going 10. And I have thought about scrolling through my trophy list real quick to look, but that would be cheating.
Yeah, we said you couldn't Google. We didn't say you couldn't.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not a Google, so you could have
No,
done
that's
that.
not in Google. I did. I have thought back. I got PSN profiles up. I could just start scrolling back here. No, I'm not going to do it, but I thought about it. But now that I gave my answer, I will.
Okay. Tricky?
So the choices were 9, 10, 11, and 12?
Yep.
Because my initial thought was 2015, so I'm definitely off there. Oh. Let's go 11.
Alex?
2012.
Everybody's final answers?
I want to say 10, but I think it was.
It's too bad. I'm going with your first answers. 2011. Tricky, good job.
Oh, I was off by a year.
And notice how I write the answers in ways that I just don't go in order. Hopefully that mixes you up even more. All right.
Did
Double
Daryl
points.
get that right?
Yes, Daryl got that right.
He's
double
Googling,
points
so.
time. This question is worth 2 points. All right. So, Alex, let's do it this way. Do you guys have pads and pens? Because I want to make sure that this one, since it's open-ended, I'm not giving you multiple choice. I want you to write it down and reveal at the same time.
Give me 1 second. Let me grab some paper.
Yep. That gives me a second to try to remember what I was doing at the end of all this. Oh, that's right. That's where it was at. Never mind. I just didn't space it out. All right. Let's see.
How many papers do I need?
Just one. All right. You guys all ready? And yes, Rick, you all will have a chance to type this out. This is not a super long answer. It is just I need you to type out the answer, or guys reveal it on the stream. And
I don't have a pen that works. Damn it.
Write it
disappointing me.
in blood.
Give me hold on.
That's fine. It's my fault for not getting you guys prepared. I thought you had the stuff since what we talked about earlier in the show, or even pre-show. But hopefully, I don't know, chat. What do you think? Are you guys enjoying this so far?
All right, we're good.
You good? Okay. Again, worth 2 points. What were the names of the PSP's internet modes? I'll give you a hint. There were 2. You have to get both of them right to get both points.
Well, I'm not
Do we,
getting this
do we
one.
get 1 point if we get one of them right?
I literally just said you have to get both of them right to get both points. This is an all or nothing.
Internet mode?
Yes, it had 2 internet modes.
Alex is Googling. Look at him.
No, I'm not.
I see the
I'm
reflection.
actually
of your
looking at
phone.
fantasy basketball.
I see the reflection in your glasses, sir.
I gotta make moves. I'm looking at fantasy basketball.
Do you have your answers already, Alex?
I don't have any answers to this.
Yeah,
I wrote down answers and they're totally wrong, but I wasn't just going to go with a blank paper.
Okay.
I got no answers.
Got no answers? Okay, chat. You are typing in your answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, cut off. So that's 13. All right. Unfortunately, if you guys don't have any answers, there. Oh man, Black Hat. Okay, I'll
Well, that to be fair
Oh
for
my
the chat, we
Yeah,
are
I
on
know
a little
there's
bit
a
of
delay. I know there's a delay, which is why I'm going to give Black Chaos the win here, even though I think you were typing it very fast, Black Chaos. So I'll give it to you. Ad hoc and infrastructure modes.
Oh,
Son of a bitch! I knew that.
So Black Chaos actually did get that. I'll give him that.
so
Yes.
in and out doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. At least not the way you think it does, Yield.
Well, I tried.
I freaking
Yes.
knew that too.
Good job, Chaos. That was excellent. All right. Question 13. What was the name of the PSP's physical game form factor? Daryl said he typed out ad hoc but didn't know the other one. That's why it's a double question. That you got to get them both right. All right. What was the name of the PSP's physical game factor? And we'll start with Alex this time since that was more of a communal attempt. A, Universal Media Disc. B, Universal Memory Disc. C, Universal Media Data. Or D, Uniform Media Disc.
Universal Media Disc, the first one.
Okay. Yield.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. A. Good old UMB.
Tricky.
Or UMB, sorry.
Say the answers again. I just want to make sure that I'm not confusing them.
Universal Media Disc, Universal Memory Disc, Universal Media Data, Universal Media. Oh, I'm sorry. Uniform Media Disc. Jesus Christ, I can't speak.
The first one, Universal Media Disc.
Everybody got that wrong. Extra point time.
Wait, we got that wrong?
No, you all got it right.
Oh, you said we all got it wrong.
I did. I'm sorry. My mind's confused.
I was gonna say, I was like,
Extra point.
Extra point.
First one to tell me how big. What was the storage size of the UMD? First one blurted out.
512 megabytes.
Nope.
Can I go multiple times?
I'll give you
150 megabytes.
no. I'll give you two shots each.
320 megabytes.
Nope.
Okay, since we all gave an answer, can you tell us we're high or low?
You are low.
We're low.
What is the storage size of the UMD?
We're all low.
Storage size. Oh. You know what? Let's shoot for the moon. 5 gigs.
No.
Okay.
1 gig.
That's what
No.
I was gonna say.
Nope.
All right. Just for shits and giggles, 2 gigs.
Nope. 1.8 gigabytes were the storage size of the UMDs.
2 counts.
You were
No.
close. No.
You were close. You were
2
close. The
counts.
answer's
Nope.
no. The answer's 1.8.
1.8.
No, because it really is 2 gigs. You just gotta take off two.
No, it's really
A point two
1.5.
because of the
It's really
system.
1.53 gigs if you're going to be that much of a accuracy whore.
Listen, I had to try there. Okay.
You did. All right. All right, let's see if you guys get this one.
Anybody in the chat get it?
No. That's why I like extra points, because they kind of just randomly happen. So we're now at question 14. Tricky, I'm sorry this is going long for your edit this week, but we got a couple more questions. So what was the reason Matt got his first PS1? Okay.
That was a Mega Man.
What? It was. My ringtone is Mega Man. What game was the reason Matt got his first PS1? A, Silent Hill. B, Tony Hawk 2. That is not an answer, Rick. C, Resident Evil 2. Or D, Tenchu Stealth Assassins. And I do have an answer for this one. I'm not just going to randomly change it.
So I think
you.
I'm up.
Yes.
I'll go B. I'll go Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk. Okay.
What were the choices again?
Silent Hill, Tony Hawk 2, Resident Evil 2, or Tenchu Stealth Assassins.
I don't think you've ever said this on the show.
I think I have.
All right, I'm going to go Resident Evil 2.
I'm gonna go Tenchu Stealth Assassins.
See, that was my other choice, Alex. It was
Because that's a weird one to throw in there. No offense to the Tenchu Stealth Assassins.
All right, so making sure I catch everybody in chat. Tricky, you're right. Resident Evil 2 was the sole reason I got the PS2. Or I'm sorry, the original PlayStation. Because I slept over at a friend's house and we played the original PS1 Resident Evil director's cut. And I fell in love with the game. So I saved up. I traded in my Sega Saturn to get a PS1 for Resident Evil 2.
Tricky takes the lead. Tricky takes the lead.
that's all right. You already protested, so it doesn't count.
Sorry, I think I have something brewing on my side. I'll continue on until I can. All right. Next question. How many sections, worlds, are in Astro's Playroom? 4. So A for 4, B 3, C 6, D 5.
Who's up first?
You,
Tricky.
And the question was how many areas?
How many sections, worlds are in Astro's Playroom? And I'll even throw this on there. So, Rick, please retype your answer if this changes. This does not include the hub world or the sub world. How many main areas do you get to go to in Astro's Playroom?
4. There's a lot of silence here.
Yep. Sorry, had to do something.
Just 4.
Okay. Alex?
4.
Okay. Yield?
You know, I'm gonna say I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go 5.
That was my other answer, Yield. Because I'm picturing it right now when we get back to the extra ones, and I'm thinking there was like the 4 base ones, and there was one on top of it. But I don't remember what was on top of it.
The answer is 4. Yes,
Ah,
because
okay.
you have the GPU, the CPU, I think the music, and then one other thing. And again, that's why I wanted to stress not the hub world or the sub world, which was there.
There were also 4 secret bots to find, one for each world, or one for each area.
Got it. Hey, can you guys gab for a minute? I need to take a call. Looks pretty important.
Sure. All right. So I'm gonna bring the chat back up, just so we can interact with you guys up there.
Anybody do any Black Friday shopping?
I just did video games.
That's what I'm saying. Did you get anything?
I don't know.
Well, you said you shop video games, so
But yeah, mine was just the Mortal Kombat DLC. That's the only thing I think I got. That I think I bought. Can't remember. I'm not remembering anything else right now.
see, I picked up Space Marine 2. I picked up a physical copy of Flat Out 4 so I can get the platinum. And I picked up Sandland was the other one I picked up. And I think I'm going to get off the PlayStation Store last day of June.
Alex, what about you?
No, I didn't really buy anything. I pre-ordered Reader's Rewind before Black Friday went on sale because you got a discount for being a PlayStation Plus member and pre-ordering it. I did buy one of the DLCs for Gigabash. It's normally $5. It was like $1 something off. I'm like, well, fuck it. If I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna buy it now. But other than that, no. What I was really looking for, I was hoping for deals on Mario Party Jamboree or Astrobot. And honestly, like, there's no deals on Mario Party Jamboree.
Astrobot was down to 50. That's the best deal I saw.
It's $10. So yeah. I looked around and I figured if I had waited this long or could wait longer, then I'm just going to wait until it's cheaper. Because like I said, the sale before this, the November sale before this, it was $15 off, and then it's only $10 off for Black Friday. So no, I didn't invest any money. I kind of, along with Jamboree, I kind of want to buy some knockoff Joy-Cons because they are cheaper, and I don't want to spend the money for Joy-Cons because I think Nintendo's controllers are inherently flawed and they're just gonna, get the drift. So
you ever think about buying the Pro Controller?
I do have a Pro Controller, but if you're gonna play Mario Party, you have to have Joy-Cons.
Do you?
Yeah.
Really? You can't use the Pro Controllers?
No.
Wow.
Well, I would assume it has something to do with the fact that you need two hands separated and doing.
Well, and the tilting, yeah, because honestly, if you're gonna play Mario Party with numerous people, like each person kind of needs Joy-Con. So
I got you.
Yeah.
Now I did the Dollar Generals in my area had the packs of PlayStation cards 20% off. So it would be the 3 $10 packs. So I picked up $120 worth of PSN money for $96. So,
well, see, they do have the deal going on PlayStation Plus, but the issue is
you got to be a premium.
Yeah,
right?
I'm at premium now, so I would have to rebuy premium, and I'm just not looking to spend that money right now. Especially if I don't know what games are coming down the pipeline. Now, if there's a game that I really want to play, like they start releasing the other Sly Coopers with new trophy list, or Twisted Metal Black comes out with a platinum, I'll fuck it, I'll re-up. But as of right now, the Classics Collection, there just hasn't been anything I really wanted to play recently after Ghost Hunter. And they've had peripherals and controllers on sale, but I've got 3 controllers for the PlayStation 5. So
yeah, the controllers were what, $20 off this weekend, which isn't bad.
Yeah, no, not at all. But I've got my 2 originals that came with the pack, and also the purple one that I have. So I'm flush on controllers. I don't need any more.
I used there was a sale last year on the controllers, and I used my GameStop points since they were going to be expiring, and I got me a couple of 4 controllers last year. So I'm good. Or 5 controllers, I'm sorry. So I'm good.
All right. Matt is back, but before we go back to the quiz, Rick does say your hat's very festive, is nice, and he wants to know if you're festive.
Who, me? Yeah.
Yes.
Thanksgiving's over with, man. We're on to Christmas now.
He said
Festivus for the rest of us.
He said he likes your hat.
Thank you.
All right, Matt, you are back.
Thank you. Sorry about that little family thing going on. We're good. Everybody's okay. All right. Question 16 is going to be a bonus points question. There are going to be 2 points issued for this. You must have the answer right. Spelling optional, as long as I know the spirit of the question is answered right.
Spelling is optional.
So break out your pens and pads again.
Okay.
What was the name of the Sony rep who appeared in commercials who famously had a different title in every commercial?
Is it multiple choice or is it just answer?
Just answer.
Do we need the whole name or just the last name?
Whole name.
Whole name.
Oh my god.
I mean, if it's that big a problem, stop calling yourself Trophy Wars if you don't know the answers.
I know his. I can't remember his first name.
I can picture him, but I can't think of his name.
I know. It's tough.
It is.
But Tricky, this is how I feel every week on your stupid song quizzes. You're missing out, Rick. I'll send you a link after the show. Rick says he never saw these. All right. If you don't know, 5 seconds.
I wrote my answer down.
Okay. Yield, you good? Alex, you good?
I don't have one, so yeah,
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. And
I'm
reveal.
gonna kick myself.
You are. Okay.
There it is.
Jimmy
Right
Butler.
there.
Kevin Butler, Alex takes the cake there, as does Black Chaos in chat.
I couldn't remember if it was Jimmy or Kevin.
Jimmy
You got
Butler.
Jimmy Ryan on the brain.
No, and that's why I was going. It's not Jimmy. It's not Jimmy. I was like,
All right.
Kevin.
Also, Jimmy Butler's a player for the Miami Heat.
Question 17. This goes back to a question I was alluding to earlier. What was the name of the company that sued Sony and Microsoft in 2002 for patent infringement over the use of rumble feedback in their controllers? It is A, Immersion Core, B, Immersive Core, C, Emulation Core, or D, Implosion Core.
Who's first?
Sorry, I had lost track. Alex, we'll go first for you. You just got the big old double points.
Immersion Core. That would be B, right? Immersion Core.
That's A.
Wait, no, you said Immersive Core was A.
Immersion Core is A. Immersive Core is B.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Immersion.
So A.
Yeah.
What was C?
Emulation Core.
I'm going B.
Tricky.
I'm gonna go. I'll go B as well.
Right. And in chat, we have Black Chaos and Rick. Answer Immersion Core.
That was me, right?
That was
that
you,
was you.
Alex. Good job.
Alex, was that a guess? Be honest.
Oh hell yeah!
Okay.
I didn't know that shit.
I didn't know either.
I knew
So-
it wasn't C or D, but between A and B. I don't know.
If you remember, Sony said that they didn't want to institute Rumble into their controller because it would interfere with the motion control portion of it, not we were getting our asses sued for stealing technology, though that ended amicably in the end. All right. We are in the home stretch. We are now on 18. You're right, Rick. I apologize. Let me update scores. Tricky is at 10. Alex is at 11. Yield is at 7. Rick is at 8. Saber's at 5. Black Chaos is at 8. And Daryl is at 7. So Alex is leading the way here.
I'll get him on the next question.
Okay. Everyone knows Sony cheated with their 160 million PS2 sold number.
Oh, here we go.
But what was the best-selling game on that system? So what was the best-selling game on the PS2? Was it A, Tony Hawk 3, B, Final Fantasy X, C, GTA San Andreas, or D, Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty? Yield?
San Andreas.
Tricky?
You can't avoid a Metal Gear game, and you know it.
It wasn't Metal Gear. I know that. What were the first three choices again?
Tony Hawk 3, Final Fantasy X, and San Andreas.
I really want to say Final Fantasy.
Do it.
I really want to.
Do it.
But was San Andreas more? That's the question.
Pull the trigger, man. Do it. You're 3 ahead of me.
Yeah, but I gotta catch Alex.
You're only 1 behind Alex.
You
There's like
do,
3
yes.
questions to go. You got plenty of time. Pull the trigger. Don't be a follower, be a leader.
Matt, you're getting accused of looking at your phone.
Who, me?
Yes.
I'm looking dead ahead.
I don't know. It looked like he was looking a little down.
Alex is looking down. He's the one who should be accused.
Hey, I'm right here.
Tricky, need an answer.
Tony Hawk.
San Andreas at 17.3
Hold on, Alex.
million.
I was gonna say San Andreas because why wouldn't you say GTA? But
Alex,
I
didn't answer.
apologize. Yep. Okay. So I will give Tricky and Yield a point as well as Alex. You all get points for this one.
Man, I actually had Tricky on that one. Gosh.
but see, that's I would have gone up 2 on Tricky.
Yeah, he'd have gone 2 up on Tricky.
Okay. Well, that's my fault. But now you have an option for double points. So
The lead.
worth 2 points. And this is kind of a fill your own in answer. You know, it doesn't have to be super accurate. I will be the final judge and arbiter.
Oh boy. So this
You
writing down?
famously, yep, write this one down. You famously had to do this when your PS1 started overheating. Your PS1 was overheating. You had to do something with it. This was the internet solution.
I think this is wrong, but this is the first thing that hit in my head.
Okay. Is everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay. Reveal your answers. Side, turn it upside down. Yield.
I didn't know the PS1.
No answer.
I didn't know the PS1's overheated.
So yeah, no, it was actually a thing. You either had to like turn it upside down, put it on its side, or tilt it. So with that, Tricky and Alex will get points.
Oh, come
For the
on.
answer.
I got it right. He didn't.
It was any of those options. Nothing was ever confirmed that it actually helped. But Rick and Black Chaos got it as well. All right, guys. Final question.
What are the scores?
You're up by 1. That's all you need to know.
Yep.
No, I need to know what are the
Yeah,
scores.
Tricky is at 12. Alex is at 13. Yield is at
7.
9.
Oh, 9.
Yeah, I remember I gave you that extra point.
Okay.
Rick is at 10. Saber's at 5. Black Chaos is at 10. Daryl is at 7. I think Saber, Chaos, and Daryl just kind of gave up. All right. What was Sony's slogan for the PS1 when introduced at E3? You are not ready. You're not prepared. Time to play. Time for play. Who's got this one? I forgot. I already lost track.
Oh, I think it's me. So I'm going to go with time for play.
Okay. Tricky.
It was time to play and time for play, right?
Yep.
And what were the first two again?
You are not ready and you are not prepared. Spelt very weird, mind you, because Sony was trying to be edgy.
Time for play.
Okay. Alex?
Time for play.
He's just copying me so he doesn't get it wrong. I can't catch him.
You are not ready, spelled URNOTREDE.
Really?
Yeah, if you look at the video on their PS1 page, it talks about everything leading up to it. It was the stupidest slogan ever. All right.
You
So
have any bonus questions? Alex won.
what a coincidence. There is a bonus question.
I just want the chat to have a chance to beat me. That's all.
Yep. So as a little surprise,
that's what Tricky's concerned about.
I told you all that there were 20 questions. There is a bonus question worth 5 points. It is a fill in the blank. And that's why it's 5 points. The bonus question is, what was the first PlayStation exclusive RPG that Matt completed?
How the hell would we know that?
Do you want 5 points or not?
The first PlayStation.
I've talked about the RPG on the show before.
The first PlayStation RPG that you completed.
What is the first PlayStation exclusive RPG? So it's an exclusive. It's a game exclusive to PlayStation. I'll even do you one better. And chat, I will let you in on this one. It is a PS1 game that I completed.
Oh, I have no idea, but I know what I'm going with.
Guys, gonna write down your answers, or are you gonna?
I can write it down.
I guess it doesn't matter because it's not like one can guess the answer based off of somebody else's.
No, but somebody could take somebody's answer to not lose, or
That is
gain,
true.
or gain farther behind. Tricky.
That is true.
All right. Write it down.
Hold on.
So wrong with this. So wrong. I don't know if the other one was a PlayStation exclusive. If it was, I'm really going to kick myself in the butt. But this was my first thought. The other one was the second thought.
Remember, it doesn't mean that it was made by a Sony studio. It was just you could only play it on the PlayStation 1.
Trying to decide between two of them. How accurate do we have to be?
I mean, I don't care if you spell it incorrectly as long as I know the game you're trying to talk about.
Okay, then that answer completely erases my answer.
Ron, come up with something. Let's go.
5 seconds.
All right. I'm taking a wild guess here, but
okay. And everybody reveal your answers. Final Fantasy VII, Chrono Cross, Final Fantasy IX. Nope, you are all wrong. And in chat, Red Rick said Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter did not come around until PlayStation 2. Black Chaos, it was not Final Fantasy VII. Correct answer, Legend of Legaia.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Dragoon was my second guess.
Gave you a little heart attack there?
Yeah, I did. I was like, damn it.
When you said that, like, when I asked how accurate, because I was thinking, like, if I just write Final Fantasy, is that going to count? Because there was 7, 8, and 9 that was all in the one.
No, you would have had to have guessed the right one. Well, thank you all very much for taking this historical tour of PlayStation. I apologize for the show running long, but the ultimate champion with 13 points, Alex. Everybody give Alex a round of applause.
Unofficially, I won with 14 points. But
unofficially, we don't care.
You did not.
All right. All jokes aside, I did Google the first one. You are right, but I remember only the bigger one being backwards compatible at the start.
Yeah. Well,
was
it's
that
what?
Hey, don't that. I got that question right and you got it wrong. So stuff it.
No. Listen, according to Google, Matt is correct.
See,
but I distinctly remember the more expensive one being the one that was backwards compatible, because that's why I went for the one.
Originally, yes, but they did come out with another one.
But the question was at launch, though. Correct?
What, the backwards compatibility at launch?
No, he said which ones were backwards compatible.
Which launch model of the PS3 can play PS2 games?
I just
model.
I distinctly remember only the bigger one you can play backwards compatible.
Get your memory checked. Gents, thank you very much for entertaining my desire to do something a little different for a show as large as 650. And of course, thank you to the chat for playing in Rick, Saber, Black Chaos, and Daryl. I appreciate you all being a part of this. And with that said, we will go on to shoutouts. So, Yield.
Shout out to Matt for putting together the quiz. Shout out to Alex and Tricky for recording this evening. Shout out to Rick, Black Chaos, Daryl, and everybody else that I'm missing who was hanging out with us in chat this evening. Shout out to all the pimps and the madams of the whoredom. Thank you for hanging around with us for 650 episodes. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you gobbled up some good gaming deals this weekend. And yeah, that's it for me.
Alex?
Give a shout out to the community, the fuel to the fire, this Trophy Horrors, because without our community, we would not have made 650 episodes. So thank you all for always being a continuing source of support for us. It is the gasoline that we run on. Give a shout out to my co-host Tricky for complaining at almost every turn tonight about almost everything. Shout out to Yield for his festive headgear, and a shout out, of course, to Matt for his quiz. And just all the, in general, all the work he does to paraphrase all the articles to make things easier on us. And last but not least, give a shout out to my awesome and loving girlfriend, Ashley. I love you, hun. And yeah, that is going to do me for 650.
And instead, I'll give Tricky the final shout out because without him, this entire show may not have made it to 650. So I'll give Tricky the shout out. I'll give a shout out to everybody who's in chat tonight. Shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to the Channel 3 community for listening in. And shout out to you, gents, for inviting me to be a part of this and kind of let me have some fun with the way I run things when I'm allowed to run the show.
Cheater.
I'm sorry, there's a little static coming through.
A sore loser. My God.
Man, loses by 1. I can imagine if he, was a blowout, but, you squeaked by. You did good, Tricky. You did okay. With that said, thank you to V for everything you do. Tricky, for episode 650, any special shout outs, anything else you want to say or talk about?
We would be remiss if we did this episode and didn't mention the major PlayStation news that came out, and that is Shuhei Yoshida is officially retiring from PlayStation in January. We'll go more into that next week on the show, but it wouldn't be right if we did the show, Monument PlayStation show, if we didn't mention Shuhei Yoshida and all that he's done for the company and whatnot. Shout out to my co-host. Shout out to Yield wearing his festive Bengals cap. I don't know.
Hat.
Rick says the only good PlayStation exec. I was a fan of Jack Stratton. Shout out to Alex, who's constantly looking at his phone, even though he's on camera. Ignoring my text message when I kept telling him to stop looking at his damn phone. But I guess fantasy basketball's more important.
Hey, I got money on the line. Got a big game this week with the number 1 team in the league.
I was texting Ashley to come smack you in the head and take your phone away from you, but unfortunately she's not there. Shout out to Matt. Thank you very much for hosting these last couple of shows. Greatly appreciate it. Shout out to all the fans. 650 episodes. It sounds like a big number, but when you realize we've been doing this for over 13 years.
13 years. Wow.
It still sounds like a big number.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's actually over closer to 14 years actually. That I've been doing these shows. Yield and Alex, they came along right around, I think it was 50 and 100. I always get this wrong.
Something like that. I don't remember. Back when you started off on Sarcastic Gamer.
Yes. And Matt, you've been around for quite a while now. I don't remember exactly what episode you joined us on. But you know, you've been a great addition to the show. Not only being able to host and paraphrase the articles, but also bringing some PC knowledge onto the show, which is something we lacked. Even though we are a PlayStation show, you know, PlayStation's starting to get into the PC world, so you know, it's good to have that breath of fresh air and information for anybody. Shout out to everybody. Like I said, this show, you know, Alex says it every week, but this show would not exist if you guys didn't come in and interact with us. The community's been kicking off the last couple of years. It's incredible. And shout out to Sweet Mama D. Shout out to the Goddess. Shout out to everybody. And special shout out to Will for the thumbnails, and also he designed the overlay you guys are seeing on Twitch and on YouTube. He takes time out of his week every week to make these thumbnails, to make these overlays. Shout out to Will. You know, he deserves every bit of credit that he gets for these, because these look incredible every week. And if there's nothing else, until next week, happy trophy hunting.
See ya.
Later.
Say goodbye, Matt.
Bye, Matt.
The theme song is Venus by the band Even off their album Z. Permission granted by the band and 12 Stone Records. You can find them on Facebook by going to www.facebook.com/evenphilippines.